Okay, now if we go to the music approval, it's time to renew our insurance coverage with Missouri United School Insurance Council. Dr. Dare will present the information.
Okay. Missouri United School Insurance Council, of course, is a consortium that we belong to for our property liability and workman's comp insurance primarily. There are other benefits, and we'll talk a little bit about those. Just a little background, started in 1985. There are currently 475 members, just over that actually, I think. Most of those are public schools in Missouri, but there are some community colleges and education associations affiliated with that as well. To use this thing right. I'm sure over the last year or several years you've talked about the cyber coverage piece. This is new for this year. It is included in our overall cost, so it's not a separate coverage. And so what has happened there is enough schools were taking that coverage that the cost analysis was coming in that they could offer it to everyone at a cheaper rate. So the number of covered people. So we are covered there. Basically what that provides, amongst other things, but it provides us some cushion, about a $2 million coverage for accidental loss or disclosure of private information. So school districts have a lot of social security numbers and birth dates on file. If we were to be hacked, we have some coverage for the process after that. So looking at our premiums, you will see that we have taken a little bit of a jump. Last year was a very good year, and so just talk through a little bit of these in big detail, and of course I can answer any questions. Property and equipment, you'll see a little bit of an increase there. That is primarily a couple things. One is just increased square footage and property. There have been some changes in the district over the last couple of years, and those catch up with the insurance plans as they go along. The other is we made some small changes in our coverages. We have more technology in the buildings. We have cost per square footage. If something were to happen, our replacement costs for a classroom are a lot greater now than they were in the past. So we did make a few slight adjustments there. General liability went up. Honestly, that one is driven mostly by the outside market. So while this is a consortium and we pool our funds for insurance claims, there are reinsurance processes and policies out there, and those do drive costs a little bit. Buses have remained the same over time. Our school board liability has gone up a little bit. Again, that's primarily from outside influences and just the market in general. Workers' comp is a driving force in our rates and always has been. So our workers' comp usage was obviously up a little bit this past year. That is a primary factor in our premium. So we will work on that, and you know, obviously things happen, so some of that's beyond our control, but we will take some steps to work on those. And then of course our required treasurer's bond. So total premium cost for this year is $642,821. I would mention also some of the other programs that music provides for us. Probably the biggest one is the Safe Schools program. So we utilize that program. It's provided to us as part of our coverage. Provides our staff with their required coverages, or required trainings rather, for things such as bullying, suicide, sexual harassment, child abuse. There's a whole litany of things that we use that for, and so that is included in our premium cost as well.
So Kyle, are you saying they produce the videos that teachers
They do, yeah, and it's an online system, so we have tracking ability to know who has watched and who hasn't, and we can go through those, yes. So credits, the board of directors, much like our self-insured health insurance, there is a pool of premium dollars that are collected, and rather than pay them to the insurance company, they're held within the consortium. And so each year the board of directors look at that pool and look at the actuarial data to determine what has to be paid out, and then they issue membership credits if they're able to. So you can see the history there. This year they did issue an 8% credit, which is great. And so the last slide represents, gives you the numbers on that. So our full assessment and then the 8% credit amounts to just over $51,000. And so our final adjusted assessment's $591,395. And as was pointed out earlier, the check is in your packet tonight because to receive the credit, they have to receive the check by December 30. So we want to make sure that we get that taken care of. So that's a substantial amount. So at this time, I would ask for your approval for the assessment and answer any questions that you have.
I'll make the motion that we approve the renewal to music and also the check to pay our premium.
I'll second that.
Okay. Got a first and a second to approve the renewal and approve the check. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, very good. Thank you, Dr. Dare.
Thank you.